Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me. Very much appreciate that. And most importantly for me, for the Knicks-Verse, your comments. I love to hear what you guys think, how you feel about stuff. Today was game one. Game one of the brand new season for the New York Knicks. 2022-23 season has just begun. And I gotta say, I might have a little bit different take than most takes that are out there right now. I've been trying to listen here and there while I'm prepping for this recap. I wish I could actually hear what everyone says before I actually do the recap. Definitely does help me understand the vibe, and also listen to like the post-game interviews and stuff. But I didn't get to do it today. However, I'm going to say this right off the bat. This was a good game for the New York Knicks. Mitch, foul trouble, made him irrelevant. RJ couldn't hit a bucket at all. Could not hit a jumper at all. So it made him irrelevant. Well, but he still made himself relevant in other ways, but his shot wasn't there. And yet this game went to overtime. 115-112, game one of this new season in Memphis on the road to lose 115-112 to a playoff team that went deep last year. This is a very, I don't know if you guys can notice, but I'm trying not to use the word, and I'm not going to use it. But what do we want out of these Knicks? What is it? We want a team that competes every night. And that's what we got tonight. Not only did we get that tonight, but we got it from other people. Well, don't want to use Julius as other because obviously he's a key piece. But tonight was a humongous game. And it's ironic that they're showing these two, that the Knicks PR, whoever does their social media, chose to show a handshake between Mitch, Obi in the background, a handshake between Mitch and RJ, where honestly, they're probably most responsible for this loss. Yes. But look how close it was. This is good signs. Remember how we use the word harbinger? We usually use it in terms of negative, harbinger of doom. This game is a harbinger of future success. I think this game, this team, the way it's playing, the way that it did play, once it starts working through some of the kinks. And RJ's, I mean, this is like an outlier game for him. He's not going to have a game like this every night. So, and same with Mitch. Maybe they were overamped. That could happen. Waiting months to finally get the season going. You know, they want to show that they got the new that they deserve the new contracts. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. However, they didn't have it, and it almost didn't matter. They only lost by 3 points. To a Ja team, a team by Ja, led by Ja, who Ja stepped up. I mean, he had a big game. Big game. What did Ja score? Ja scored 34 points. Well, 11 of 24. Nothing exciting. And one of the reasons the Knicks got back in this game, because they were once down by 19 points. 19 points, and they clawed back in. And actually, before I get to the highlights, because I'm going to show highlights, I tweeted this out. I tweeted 2 tweets out. I tweeted out a tweet earlier where I said the Knicks are down 10 after 4:16 in third quarter. But actually, it was with 4:16 left in the third quarter. But they look a run away from tying this up. I wrote it so quick it totally misspelled. But the idea was, I totally felt like they had a run in them that could tie the game. And that's what they did. They totally did it. And then, look at this. Knicks took their first lead since the first quarter, 96-95, with 3:39 left in the game. They couldn't close it out. And I will say, I don't want to harp on it because, I don't know, it's kind of lame, but I have to call it out. The refereeing was not that consistent. Not that consistent. And there was definitely a terrible call in overtime on let's put it this way, a terrible non-call. Jalen Brunson went in for the layup. Ja came out of nowhere. First of all, he slammed into his body and then hit him in the head to block the shot, or I guess interrupt the shot, and there was no call. And that was a moment where the Knicks could have taken the lead in overtime, and it could have changed the tonality of how you play the rest of that, the next few minutes. So that was a big non-call. So they had the refs to their, on their side. But we're not here to, complain about that, because that's not what this is about. This is about what kind of team we're going to have this year. And we are going to have a team that competes. And that is beautiful. That's all. I mean, that's the least. No, not the least. That is exactly what we should get. When you don't have a team that has, a franchise player like a Ja. I mean, RJ is not a Ja. He's not. Not yet. Not yet. He's not. I mean, Ja, that guy, but still, 11 of 24, nothing to write home about, man. I got to say. Nothing to write home about. He did get 34 points. Of course, he went to the free throw line a lot, hit 9-11 from the free throw line. He did hit 50% of his three-pointers, 3 of 6. So that is excellent. It got nine dimes, 4 rebounds. Did commit 6 turnovers, though. 6 turnovers. Think about this. So Ja, right? The guy, a lot of people have him as the MVP favorite. Guess what his plus-minus was tonight? +1. That's all it was. All it was. The 38 minutes he spent on the court, they only outplayed the Knicks by 1 point. And it could have been that bad call. He got some calls that shouldn't even have been calls on the other end as well. But I know, I said I wasn't going to complain about calls, but sometimes you have to. But Julius Randle, what a game this man had tonight. Even though, of course, we saw towards the end of it, he did have a little bit of a meltdown, bad turnover, and then actually ended up him getting a 6th foul, and he's out of the game. The 3 turnovers, but he was part of this comeback. He was part of fueling this comeback. 35 minutes, 24 points, 9 of 16 shooting, 2 of 3 from the 2 of 3, 33%. Nothing outstanding, but at least they looked nice. They looked good. 11 bounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. +7. Great game for Julius Randle. Great game for him. Again, though, it's those little moments. It's the little things sometimes that win you games. And him making some mistakes did cost us. But at the same time, he's one of the reasons the Knicks got back in the game. So it's hard, it's hard to judge between what is more important. In this case, of course, having a chance to win is the most important thing, which is something that Julius provided for the team. Then, Cam Reddish. Off the bench. This is the Cam Reddish breakout game. This is it, guys. I'm going to talk more about Cam later, but just to recap him here, 27 minutes, 22 points, 9 of 15 shooting. He hit the big three-pointer to tie the game. Unbelievable. Unbelievable play. Fantastic play. That was, fantastic play. Inbound pass to RJ. I think it was a dribble handoff to Brunson. He curled around, found Cam, went from one side of the court all the way to the other side to get to the corner. Jalen Brunson found him for the three-pointer that tied the game. Fantastic. There were still 3 seconds left in the game, so it wasn't like they had, it was the end of the game. So the Memphis had a chance to actually win this game, and they weren't able to do it in regulation, so they had to go to overtime. But excellent game. However, 0 assists. 0 assists. So we got to bear that in mind. Those are still issues. 3 steals, nice. A block in the first minute of this game. In the first two possessions that he was on the floor for, he got a block. He got a huge rebound. He committed a turnover and then hit a 3-pointer. That was all in the first 2 possessions of the game, and it looked like, wow, he looked different. The way he was able to slip through defenders and finish at the end was fantastic. It's what RJ was not doing. So it was fantastic to see Cam pick that up and do that. Excellent. I gotta say, this is the game. If Cam keeps delivering performances like this, it's gonna make things very interesting for us fans and for obviously for the Knicks. Like, what are they gonna do? They can't not keep this guy on the court. Of course, they're gonna have to. If he delivers performances like this, they have to. Especially on a night when Obi struggled, Quickly struggled. So our bench struggled. They did, except for Cam Reddish and Isaiah Hartenstein, who he had to basically take over. And here he is, Isaiah Hartenstein, because Mitch got himself in foul trouble. Now, were some of the fouls lame calls? Yeah, they were. But still, he got into foul trouble, 5 fouls, and we really didn't see him much at all until overtime. And this is what Isaiah, thank you, New York Basketball, at NBA_New York. You guys should definitely follow this guy or these people. They're fantastic. I love the content they put out. Isaiah Hartenstein in the 115-112 overtime loss to Memphis to open the Knicks season. 40 minutes, game high and career high. Oh, by the way, that was a game high, a team, Cam's career high on the Knicks. That was the previous for him. Isaiah Hartenstein, 40 minutes, game high, 16 points, 7 of 11 shooting. Didn't hit a 3, but and there was a 3 late in overtime that he took, and I was glad he took it. You have to at that moment. That's why you're out there. You have that skill. You are able to hit that shot. He didn't hit it, but I'm glad he took it. 8 rebounds, hit both of his free throws, 7 offensive rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 3 turnovers, 5 fouls. Finished a +1. Great game for Isaiah. Alan Turing at Stacy Patton 89. He tweeted this out, which I really liked. Ball game. Knicks had a bunch of chances, but really struggled to shoot the 3 tonight. Still, a bunch of bullshit calls, an outlier bad night from RJ, and they were right there with the 2 seed in overtime. So that's what you got to take away from this. Right there with the 2 seed in overtime. I'm telling you, we got ourselves a team here. We got ourselves a team here. We'll see. We'll see how the next one goes, but we got ourselves a team. Tommy Beer. You know, can't do a recap without a Tommy Beer tweet. We had Cam Reddish outscoring Barrett, IQ, Obi, and D Rose combined on their who had sorry, I totally fucked this up. Sorry, Tommy. Who had Cam Reddish outscoring Barrett, IQ, Obi, and D Rose combined on their bingo card? Nobody. Reddish, 22 points on 15 field goal attempts. RJ, IQ, and Obi, and Rose, 20 total points on 35 field goal attempts. Wasn't a good night for Rose. Rose only played 12 minutes, and I was surprised that he played so few minutes, especially when you consider overtime. But, you know, he looked a little slower. He struggled a little bit. He took a 3-pointer when they just crossed over the half-court line, and it would have been a nice one. I think at the time, that 3-pointer would have either tied the game or put the Knicks ahead, maybe. He shot it, missed it. There was no one really there to get the rebound. And then on the other end, I think it was Bane hit a 3-pointer, and then that extended the lead. So it was a big momentum shifter, which blows. Here we go. Here are the stats. But before we go into this, let's get to the highlights. Here we go. So I'm telling you, look, this was really interesting. That wasn't the first shot. The first shot of the Knicks season was a 3-pointer made by Julius Randle. Is that a harbinger? Let's see. Let's see. Obviously, missing Mitch, not having Mitch out there was a big issue for the Knicks, especially with Steven Adams out there. He's so strong to battle with them. Ja, I mean, the guy he's a highlight reel. He's so fun to watch. Between the leg bounces, behind the back passes. He creates so much opportunities for his teammates by finding these unexpected deliveries of passes where the defense just doesn't know what's going on. I mean, they just don't understand what's happened because the ball's suddenly somewhere else. And how he did it is almost like a magician, and then his guys get a nice, clean, open look. But look at that play by Julius. Julius had himself a night. It was really nice to see. Honestly, I would rather see this tonight than see RJ, having a great night, Mitch having a great night, because I know that they can. They've done it tons of times. So this was nice to see that Cam, the guy we've been begging for to break out and shine, look at that beautiful 3-pointer he did, to actually do it. He did it in a game that mattered. And he did it with authority. He did it with conviction. And what's nice, even though he still only had the 0 assists, he could feel, and maybe he's this kind of guy, when the offense is stagnating, that's the kind of guy you look for because he can create for himself. Sometimes he was scoring on 3 defenders. It was pretty outstanding. And especially on a night when Obi did not have a good night. Obi, 13 minutes, 1 of 3 overall. Didn't even take a three-pointer. He did get 3 assists. 1 assist. Sorry, 1 assist, 3 rebounds in his 13 minutes. Only 2 points, -7. So that was a very disappointing performance for Obi. But also, and quickly did not have a good game. 0 for 6. But the reason we lost this game is because our guy, the number 3 pick, the guy picked right after Ja, right there, had a very, very bad night. He had a really rough night. RJ Barrett played the second most minutes. Shockingly, Isaiah Hartenstein played the most minutes, 40. RJ played 38 minutes. He only hit 3 buckets. Took 18 shots, which ties for the most with Brunson on the team. Only hit 3 of them. Missed all 6 of his 3-pointers. He did hit 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He did get 8 rebounds, which is nice. 3 assists, which is nice. Committed 2 turnovers. Finished with 11 points. But his plus-minus, 0. It was even. This just shows you. That's that mentality. If you're not making buckets, try to help in other ways. And he did that. There were only 2 plus players on the Knicks today, and that was Julius Randle with a +7 after scoring 24 points, and Jalen Brunson, 15 points, a +3. Jalen Brunson actually had a rough start to the game, but in that fourth quarter, he took over. The reason, one of the main reasons we really were able to, because we kind of kept clawing back in this game. We were clawing back in the game, but when we finally came back enough to tie it and really kind of change the tone of this game, was Brunson. His penetration, finding open guys, doing all the things that we have, but basically that was promised of him. He finally became the Brunson that we thought we had signed. We didn't see it in those first couple of quarters, but in that fourth quarter, he was there, and man, was that exciting. It was so fun. I had a blast watching this game. Honestly, I haven't had this much fun watching a Knicks loss in a very long time. Because to me, I really like that kind of play right there. We're not gonna, RJ's not gonna be doing that much. Don't forget who he truly is. Today, I think he was too much in his head. I think when he goes up against Ja and all the talk and all the issues about the draft, he was drafted ahead of him and all that stuff, that might create too much noise, disturbance in him. And if he starts missing a shot here and there, he starts getting tighter, and he starts, unfortunately, we didn't see him break out of it. Like we've seen him before in the past, where he has like a poor first 3 quarters, and then he has like a great fourth quarter. Didn't happen for him. Didn't happen for him this time. But the beauty is, we didn't need it. We didn't need it to get back in this game because of Cam Reddish, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson in that fourth quarter. But before that, the Knicks, oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful play. Ooh, and he even got the foul. He got the and one. See this one here. Oh, look at that beautiful bounce. That was a monster play. That was when the Knicks took the first lead in the game. Not first lead since the first quarter. Then here we go. This was a big bucket. Man, the guy from Memphis, he killed us. Aldama, 7 of 14, 3 of 8 from the 3-point line, 18 points. He was a +18. He crushed us. Really hurt. Look at this play. This is one of the this is look at that. He tied it right there. That's what I'm talking about. How Jalen Brunson finally woke up, the guy that we've been hoping for, and controlled this game on the offensive end. And he took a humongous charge towards the end of the game to help take us into overtime. Ja drove. He looked like he always does. And Brunson just stood his ground, took the charge. Ref made the right call, and we went to overtime. Fantastic moment right there. That was a great bounce pass there, too. Ooh. All right, went back to the start. All right, here we go. So, Randle, 9 of 16. Beautiful. 2 of 6 from 3-point line. So, basically, 24, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. He did foul out, but he played an excellent game. Excellent game. Unfortunately, Mitch, because of foul trouble, 5 fouls in 13 minutes, he wasn't able to have an impact on this game. So we had to put a lot of pressure on Isaiah Hartenstein, and he came through. Though there were times during key periods of the game where we were just getting killed on the offensive boards. Well, for us, it was the defensive boards. Memphis was killing us because we didn't have Mitch out there. And Isaiah, I don't know if he wasn't ready for it. He only had 8 rebounds in total, but he was definitely out-muscled. I mean, Steven Adams is one of the strong. They say he's the strongest guy in the NBA, and he looked it the way he was just pushing Isaiah Hartenstein around. So that hurt us, but we made up for it with tenacity, with getting out there on the perimeter, and finally disrupting the shooters of Memphis in that fourth quarter. That was fantastic. You can see the Knicks only hit 24.3% of the three-pointers, only shot 40.4% overall, and yet they went to overtime and only lost this game by 3. Isaiah Hartenstein, 16 points. D. Rose, 4 points. Toppin at 2. Evan Fournier, 4 of 11, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, though. That was nice. 14 points. Really nice. I do believe that Thibs, don't want to nitpick too much here because it's so early in the season, but I was very surprised when Randle fouled out in the fourth quarter with 4-something left in the fourth quarter that we didn't see Obi come in. That would have been the time. Bring Obi in right there, see if he can make up for, the poor play early on in the game, and see if we can make something happen. We needed his size. Instead, Thibs went with Fournier. So we had a very small team out there, except for Hartenstein. We had Fournier, Cam, Brunson, RJ, and Hartenstein. That was our 5 out there, and they battled. Not gonna say they didn't battle. They battled. I think they had the game tied in overtime, but eventually we lost. So I do think that we should have gone to Obi at that point. You could still bring in Fournier later if Obi. Let's say I would bring in Obi. Have him out there for a couple of possessions, maybe a minute and a half in the game, because Fournier can sit on the bench. If anyone can come in ice cold and deliver, it's Evan Fournier. So bring in Obi, see what he can do. Maybe he can create some offense that that in the half court and make something happen. Instead, Thibs chose to bring in Fournier, and I'd say that decision actually did not work out. I don't think Fournier really added much in that fourth quarter. So, but Obi wasn't doing much anyway either. So I could see, I semi-respect the choice, but ultimately I think it was a mistake to do that. Here are the plus minuses. Like I said, only Randle and Brunson were in the plus column, and RJ finished an even 0. Goose egg. Fournier was a -1. Mitch -7. Toppin -7. Reddish -1. Oh, no, Isaiah Hartenstein was a +1. Sorry, so there was a third Nick that was a plus. And then Rose and Quickly both finished -4, -6, respectively. Here we go. You can see Ja was 11 of 24, 34 points. Desmond Bane did not look that great, 3 of 13. It was really the other guys. I mean, this guy, what's his name? Aldama, there it is, 3 of 8. Aldama. I mean, Concher hit 4 of 9 of his 3-pointers. Tyus Jones, 3 of 8. So the Knicks, the Grizzlies finished 34% from the 3-point line. They took 50 3-pointers. Well, a game in an overtime. That's not that shocking. Let's go to the team stats. The Knicks finished with more assists than Memphis, 28 to 27, which is a great sign. I'm telling you, there's a lot of great signs here. I know we can be bummed about this loss. And I was bumming, of course, at one point when we were down by 19 points. But there was something about the way they were playing that indicated that they had a nice run within them. They were like too much in their heads and not connecting with each other enough. But then we saw it in that third quarter. They scored 33 points in the third quarter. A team that outscores the opponent in the third quarter usually wins games. So this is, like I'm saying, our harbinger of potentially good things to come. The Knicks outscored the Grizzlies 33-24 in that third quarter, and they outscored them in the fourth quarter 29 to 23. But they were clawing out of a hole that they had been dug into in that second quarter where they lost 36 to 23. So it just shows you one truly bad quarter did kill these Knicks today on the road. Now, do you think, oh, well, that's a sign that this team doesn't quite have it? Or is that a sign that this team is on its way to figuring it out? That's going to be interesting to see what happens. I saw good things. I believe that this is a sign of good things. We'll see what happens Friday. Game 2. Fantastic. We're off. We're running. We got ourselves a team that competes. All right. Well, thank you for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and drop your comments. I want to hear how you guys feel about this game. All right? And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.